Thank you. Hi, good morning. This is Lynn Van Devender, and I'm the Director of Projects for the Common Pool, the company that was responsible for the design and development of the SC2 Challenge. As you may know, this is a White House initiative that came out of the Domestic Policy Council and is being administered by the U.S. Department of Commerce Economic Development Agency. There are 3 cities participating in the SC2 Challenge. They are Greensboro, North Carolina, Hartford, Connecticut, and Las Vegas, Nevada. And each of those 3 cities went a competitive bidding process in order to participate in these competitions. For those of you who may not yet be familiar with the specifics of the competition for Hartford, we ask that you go to hartford.sc2prize.com where you can read up on the competition. And you can see that URL in the screen there that Jordan has up. One of the advantages of this program design is that we've been very transparent and open and fair in terms of what is required to participate, who will be assessing these applications, and how they will be assessed. All of that information is available for you at hartford.sc2prize.com. However, for today, we're going to assume that most of you have already familiarized yourself with this program. And today's purpose is really to dig into exactly how you're going to go about acting as a judge, a member of our evaluation panel, and how you're going to score those teams who've been assigned to each of you. So before we turn it over to Jordan Blumhart, our prize administrator, who is going to lead us through that presentation, I'm going to stop and turn it over to Stephen Cole.
Thank you, Lynn. So I don't want to spend much more time revisiting some of what the backstory is, but certainly moving forward here, President Nieves, particularly, I just want to inform you that we have received 32 submissions by the time that the registration or that the process has closed. We reviewed those, and 25 are moving forward. So by the end of, I believe it's Saturday, Lynn, we agreed that we would have the packages over to the judges. They'll be made available to you, and you'll be able to review them and grade them using the process that Jordan's about to outline for us. You'll have until, I believe, November 20th to be able to complete that. So it's better than 6 weeks. And we tried to keep the proposals at about 10. So you'll only be reviewing about 10. And this is critically important, partly because you'll be determining ultimately who is presenting to us the best ideas to present and foster the best economic solutions to foster entrepreneurship in Hartford. So with that, and without further ado, I'd like to turn it back over to Lynn and Jordan.
I will go ahead and begin with the presentation then. Here on the main page, if you will be provided with credentials to log in as a judge. Currently, we'll just log in as a sample judge for demonstration purposes. Once you log in, you'll be brought to the dashboard page. If it's not already showing, well, a judging history box may appear on the dashboard page. If it's not already showing, you can click on the Add Dashboard Items drop-down menu and select it from that menu. This box is a summary of the judging history page and will show you all of the submissions that you need to judge. You can also click on Review to start judging them. But in order to review the judging history page more thoroughly, we're going to go ahead and go to the full page. So if you can click on Go to Full Page at the bottom of that box, or Judging History in the dashboard menu at the top of the page. On this page, we're provided with several different types of information. The user that was responsible for submitting that submission, the start date of the judging, the score that you've provided for that submission, whether or not the rubric is finished, and the close date when you finished and closed out your scoring for that submission. To begin scoring, we'll click on Review next to one of the submissions. On the judging page, to review the submission, you can click on the submission box at the top and it will expand. In here you'll have a list of team members, primary point of contact, the documents that you need to review for that submission, and the video if they submitted a video with their submission. To review the documents, just click on the link next to their name, the executive summary or the economic development proposal. When you click on them, they'll download as a PDF. Then you can read them on your computer or print them out for review. When you're done with this box, you can click at the top again and collapse it. Once you've reviewed and thoroughly read through the submission documents, if you go ahead and read this black box at the top of the page, it will give you some questions and basically some parameters on how to score that section or that judging criterion. There will actually be 3 different judging criterion that you will judge the submission by, and they'll each show up on separate pages as you complete them. So once you read that black box, you can go ahead and drag this bar or click on this bubble and drag it to the correct score that you want to provide for that judging criterion. One thing that'll be helpful is we have some short descriptions above each of these scoring sections, just kind of give you an idea of what that submission probably needs to include in order to receive that particular score. When you're done scoring that criterion, you will be required to also give feedback, a comment of feedback to the participant or to the team. A minimum of 50 characters. You can provide more if you like. This gives the participant the opportunity to get some feedback on their submission, which helps them basically get more information towards all the work that they put together, but also gives them an idea of why they received the score that you gave them. When you're done with all of that, you can click Save right here above the text box to save that judging criterion. You'll have to save before moving on to the next one. If at any time you want to leave and want to return to judging later, you can do that once you've saved a section. Maybe you want to go back and judge all of the submissions, the first criterion before moving on, or simply don't have time to finish it right now. We're going to go ahead and click on Judging Overview, and that will take us back to the Judging History page. So I'm going to go ahead and click back into that submission. Into that submission, I click on Review. Notice, since I saved judging criterion number 1, when I returned, it automatically brought me to judging criterion number 2. So again, we'll follow the same process, read the black box, judge the submission accordingly, and drag the bar or the bubble to the correct score, provide a comment, and save. There's one more judging criterion, and we'll just follow the exact same process. Go ahead and once you're done, make sure to save your final judging criterion. And then there are a few more things to tell you about on the judging history page once you're done with a submission. So we'll go back to the judging history page. When you're done reviewing a submission, there are several things that will happen on this page. First of all, a score appears in the score column whenever you've provided any score. So even a partial score from one criterion, you'll start seeing the score right here. You can actually click on the score to review the submission quickly. By clicking on the score, it provides all 3 of your judging criterion, the scores you gave, and the comments you gave for each one, all right here in this box. It will also tell you that yes, your rubric is finished. You have completed all 3 requirements or all 3 criterion on the judging process. And finally, you'll be given a Close Now button. The Close Now button will allow you to close out judging, basically signify I am completely done judging this. If you click Close Now, you will not be able to edit or change your scoring at all. So if you want to be able to return to possibly do that, you can wait to click Close Now. You may end up deciding you want to go through all of the submissions first before deciding to completely close out that judging in case you want to change any of your comments or tweak any of your scores. For now, I'm going to go ahead and click Close Now. Notice that when I click Close Now, the review button disappears. Finally, if you need a review of this process, there will be a help video on this page. You just click on Help at the top right of the page. The video will appear here, or you can read through the instructions for this section by clicking on Show Closed Caption. I believe that's it for the judging review or the judge scoring process. I guess I'll turn it over for anyone who may have questions.
No questions. Basically, it's quite comprehensive and step by step, which I appreciate, as sometimes not having the processes where you get lost in it, but this seems rather clear.
Excellent. One of the things that came up during our last judging session was that some of the judges recommended that perhaps for their own process, they will review all of the proposals before they will close out. And then also comments are actually, much to Jason's credit, who's not on the call today. Jason Morgan is the president of the Common Pool, for whom Jordan and Lynn are representing. And so Jason, when he was here, he indicated that through his study and his comprehensive work with these types of competitions, to many folks who participate in challenge competitions, those comments are more meaningful than sometimes the prize money. And so being an educator, I'm sure you can appreciate how comments are very meaningful to students even. And so although it's only 50 that's required in order to move on to the next, you can, Jordan, is there a max on how many characters that they're allowed to utilize?
To tell you the truth, I'm not entirely sure what the answer is on that. I can look into that. I know that you can leave rather long comments.
Okay. Just the same. More in-depth comments will be helpful, because at some point they will have the chance to review these comments. And I suspect that even if something is a good idea but doesn't necessarily win the money, we will be working with them at some point in the future. And so anything you can do to help them refine their idea would obviously help the process. Okay?
Great.
Excellent. So, folks, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate you, especially Jen and Lynn and Jordan, for taking the time to do this again.
Of course.
And with that,
great. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Lynn. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Thanks.